Rangers win, baby, 5-3 over the Los Angeles Kings, and a improved game from what we've seen from the past from this team. They actually showed me some quality hockey for the most part in this game. There were things that I didn't like about the game, which has been the case for most. It wasn't a full 60 by any means, but there was definitely a lot to like about the game. They actually played some quality defense, I thought, at points in this game, which we'll talk about, which is something that's a huge step considering we know how many defensive lapses they have during games and how infuriating it is to watch it. But there is a lot that was improved towards the end of the game, especially that I thought at least. But we'll jump into all of it. Before we do, be sure to leave a like on the video if you do enjoy. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially if you're Ranger fans, and turn on your notifications so you know when I upload a video next. This game did not start pretty whatsoever. First period, right off the gate, Keandre Miller turns the puck over right in his own zone, and Jacob Trouba gets outworked completely in front of the net by Kevin Fiala, who sneaks it 5-hole past Igor Shesterkin. Early 1-0 lead, and you're like, here we go. It's going to be one of those nights, isn't it? And the Rangers just kept on getting dominated. Hedl then turns the puck over, and Walker hits the post on one, and the Kings just kept putting pressure on. Trocheck then will take a slashing penalty, and of course, they will end up converting on the power play as Velarde was left wide open by Fox, who was playing cat and mouse for whatever reason with whoever was on the Kings that, I don't know who he was chasing after, but left him open, backdoor. Fiala buries it, or not buries it, he fires it over to Velarde, who buries it. It's a late night, as you could tell. But the Rangers did end up getting a couple of chances after Trocheck got tied up, as he almost got a chance backdoor. So the Rangers actually somewhat responsive, but the first period was still ugly. They barely got any chances, and most of the chances they got, they just kind of peppered on goal, throwing shots from the boards, throwing weak shots from the blue line. It wasn't anything pretty at all. And then the Kings just flew into the offensive zone. Huge glove save by Igor Shesterkin on Kupari, though. So that was a good sign. I think that was Kupari they made the save on, if I remember correctly. But huge save there for Igor. Kakko then almost tipped in one. That couldn't go through. Fox with a bad pinch then, and the Kings thankfully peppered a shot or went for a line change. I don't know what they were doing, but they had a quality opportunity to generate some offense there. Fox had a bit of a rough go tonight, that is for sure. Laffy then went off for slashing, but so did Lizotte. Both of them went off, so we had 4-on-4 hockey. Fiala walked behind Miller on that 4-on-4, threw a shot wide. Embarrassing effort again by the second pair. Trouba, though, had probably the best chance of the period with a shot from the slot. That was pretty much all the Rangers got. Trouba then got cooked following that by Lizotte, as he got set up in the slot as well. Denied. Rangers got dominated that period, 13-6 in favor of the Kings for shots. The defensive lapses continued to happen, continued to look awful, and it's something that is a problem that they are not starting these games on time. However, the second period, they looked a lot better, and right out of the gate, VC got a chance alone from the faceoff dot. That got denied. Panarin then got a chance alone on the wing, and for whatever reason, he elects to try and deke around Peterson instead of burying it on or firing it on, and end up scoring. But the Rangers would end up making it 2-1 as the third line has a beautiful shift as they win a board battle, give it back to the point right over to Braden Schneider. Braden Schneider fires that one on goal, and that one will go in, as I don't think Peterson was able to pick up the puck on this one. So that made it a 2-1 game. Feeling a bit better. Hedl and Lafreniere with the assist on those. Lindy then with a beautiful move, which is something that's weird to see. He had a nice little move to the net that he almost capitalized on. Igor then had to make a couple big saves as the Kings got some chances there. Couple on the rebounds. And then there was one guy that got in alone, and he makes a big stop on him. Trocheck then stole one in front, and for whatever reason, he elects to pass it to Panarin instead of shooting it on goal. Don't know why. But he would end up scoring after this, as Vinny Trocheck just flew through both the defensive zone, the offensive zone, the neutral zone, flew through, fired one on goal, and it went off of Drew Dysick over Peterson and in. And as my live chat was saying, yeah, he deserved it. Vinny Trocheck absolutely deserved this type of lucky bounce, considering how many posts he's hit, how many unlucky breaks he's had throughout the season. He absolutely deserved that one, so we love to see that. Rangers then allowed a chance after, but Laffy made a nice little play to break that up. Laffy making some nice defensive plays, which is something that you like to see, but I still would like to see from the offensive side him actually produce a bit more, which we'll discuss further on later. But Rangers started to look better as the period went on. Couldn't bury a couple more chances that they got. Trouba then with a nice set to Panarin backdoor, and Panarin hesitates to shoot instead of just firing it on goal on the tape. And that was something that was infuriating because the Rangers, again, they could have dominated this game and really won by a high score if they actually, shot the puck at times, but whole different discussion. Gaudreau then with a shot that slid through, but couldn't go through, couldn't go in the net, I should say, and he got clipped at the same play. Nothing was called, but the refs weren't calling anything, so I'm not going to complain too much. They were just kind of like, yeah, you go out there and play tonight, because they did not care about what was going on whatsoever. And Lindy then with a nice play to stop Anderson Dolan on a breakaway. Igor then makes a big save on Walker, and the Rangers would make it 3-2 after, as the Rangers had a beautiful cycle going on the delayed penalty. Beautiful passing there. Mika had a one-time opportunity that hit the post, but the passing remains beautiful as they're just moving tape to tape all over the place. And Hedel, Lafreniere would end up getting the assist, just like on the Schneider goal on this one, as Hedel threw one on goal. Capo Caco picks up the rebound. Him not finishing empty net goals. Laughable. He said in your face, and he buried that one. And unfortunately, later we'll have to talk about him missing one, but that's besides the point. He buried this one, and it made it 3-2, which is something that we like to see. Igor then had to make a nice save on Arvidsson, but the Rangers played a very complete second period, in my opinion, for the most part. The defensive lapses were definitely there, but they definitely played a better, I shouldn't say complete, they played a better second period, though. 12-10 were the shots in favor of the Rangers for that period. Looked a lot better. Third period, not a whole lot that went on, despite the shots being heavily in favor of the Kings, 15-7 in this one. There wasn't a lot that I thought really went on. I thought the Rangers actually played some solid defense, and they kind of forced the Kings to pepper shots on goal. Igor made a nice save on Fiala in the slot early. Miller then got beat by Kempe, but still ended up breaking up the play. And the Rangers' third line with a beautiful shift. Kako gets a wide open net as he did a little wrap around there, and he got an open net. Peterson lost his stick. Does it give you any vibes to a game last year against the Vancouver Canucks? I think it does. He didn't have a stick there at all, and he kept making save after save as the Rangers' kid line kept trying to get chance after chance, and the defense throwing shots on. Schneider throwing one on. Jones throwing one on, and the kid line just dominating that shift there. And what happens? Of course, you throw your arms up because of course it happens. Rush comes the other way. Walker throws one on goal, goes off of Laffy and in. 3-3 game, and you're like, yeah, here we go. Gonna be the unlucky breaks. We know what's gonna happen. Oh, okay. They end up scoring. Mika threw one down the boards, and Kreider just comes flying down the ice, fires one on goal. Nice to see him actually shoot the puck there instead of wait for his boyfriend Mika Zibanejad to come on down and try and bury a 2-on-1 opportunity or something. Instead, he fires one on goal, and that made it 4-3. So, looking good. Gauthier then with a chance denied. Lindy then got a chance denied as well. Kako, a breakaway, elects to try and do a little bit of a deke move instead of firing one on goal on the breakaway. And that was another thing that was just a fury. Kako could have had a hat trick tonight, but it is what it is. Miller then denied with an opportunity, and the Rangers would get the daggers. They made a couple beautiful defensive plays, not allowing the Kings to enter, get even through the neutral zone at all, not allowing them through. VC with a couple nice plays, and Fox made a nice play there, and they would get the dagger. Chris Kreider ends up burying the empty net goal. 5-3 win. Again, I thought the defense actually played solid in the third period for the most part, despite what the shots said. 15-7. I don't know. I thought they actually played a better third period than the shots say. That's just my opinion there, but there's definitely still work to be done when it comes to the defense. That is for sure. If they could play like they did in the last few minutes of this game, then we're in great shape. We're getting in the right direction here, because they were not allowing the Kings to even enter the zone at all, and it was mind-blowing considering this team just does better shorthanded for whatever reason. The Kings pull the goalie, all of a sudden you play better defense, sure, but I won't complain because the Rangers held on and won this game. Shots in the game, 38-25 in favor of the Kings. 53-48 in favor of the Kings in the faceoff dot. Rangers didn't even get a power play in this game, so it's nice to see them actually score 5-on-5. That is for sure. Hits 41-27 in favor of the Rangers. That's a lot. 18-14 in favor of the Kings in block shots. 9 giveaways for the Rangers, 7 for the Kings. Let's talk about, though, what exactly happened in the game with each line, because there's a lot to dissect here with this one. But the first line, Kreider, Zibanejad, and VC, I thought the entire team, let's just get it out of the way, because I'm going to say with each line, every line looked awful in the first period. There is not a single line that looked good at all in that first period. The second line had probably the best chance of the period. That was about it. But outside of that, there was not a lot. So outside of the first period, I thought they played pretty decent. I thought Zibanejad had an okay game. Would like him to shoot the puck a bit more. Would like a bit more from him offensively, but an okay game. Kreider, 2 shots on goal. Gets 2 goals with those shots on goal. So loved what I saw there a bit. And he actually showed up a bit tonight. I thought Kreider was a bit more noticeable than we've seen from the past few games. That was nice to see. And then VC, he should be in the top 6, but man, he makes such nice defensive plays. Like, it would be night and day the difference if this guy was playing in the bottom 6. Just all the hate he gets, it sucks. It sucks because, again, if he was in the bottom 6, he wouldn't get any hate and nobody would think much of it. And everyone would be like, wow, this is such a great bottom 6 piece that we have for our fourth line. But it's just infuriating that he plays in the top 6 and it's just he doesn't belong there. And it's obvious. But whatever. First line with a meh game for the most part. Second line with a very meh game as well. Panarin, Trocheck, and Gaudreau. Not a lot that I liked from Panarin tonight. There was a couple play, like when he hesitated to shoot the puck. There was also a fast break that he got in the third period where, for whatever reason, he decides to just go behind the net and just gift it right to the LA Kings. But he also made a nice defensive play in the third period, which I want to give him credit for, because it's not often that I say Panarin made a nice defensive play, which is something that he preached that he would do coming into the season. So gotta praise him when he does it. Would like to see a bit more of defensive effort there. Trocheck, I thought, had a pretty good game. Dominant in the faceoff dot, 58%. And he was flying up and down the ice. He looked pretty solid for the most part tonight. And that takeaway that he got in the game almost led to a goal. So I liked what I saw from Trocheck. Barker Gaudreau, again, another guy who does not belong in the top 6. But he didn't, I don't know. He had an okay game. He had an okay. For the most part, the second line had an okay game. The third line, though, this is where it gets tricky, right? Because in the first period, it was torture watching this line play. I mean, they were turning the puck over in the defensive zone, turning the puck over in the offensive zone. They looked absolutely dreadful. Even at other points in the second and third period, they looked absolutely dreadful. But there were shifts that they had that looked like what we saw in the playoffs, like the shift that we always talk about against Tampa Bay in game 1. They had the shift, but they didn't score on said shift there in the third period because Kakko missed a wide open net. But they actually looked pretty good for the most part, which is something that I like to see because they've been struggling. They've been struggling lately, so I like to see the points come for them. That is something that is huge, but they could have had more tonight. Man, they could have had more. But I do like what I saw a lot more from them tonight. Hedl, though, gotta limit the turnovers. He is turning the puck over way too much. 3 giveaways it has listed here. I thought I counted more tonight. He needs to limit those turnovers, and badly, because it is hurting the team. And yeah, last game, one of them led to a goal. Almost did in this one, I think. I think one of them might have, but yeah, he needs to limit that. And then the fourth line. The fourth line wasn't awful. I think Carpenter's can't be playing, though. I think it's time to put Kravtsov back in the lineup. Stick Barker Gaudreau on that fourth line, like we've been saying for weeks out. Carpenter just isn't doing much, and he's not winning faceoffs anymore. So what is he even doing out there if he's not going to win faceoffs? Sammy Blais, not much from him tonight either. He got in Kempe's kitchen a bit. That's really about it for what happened with Sammy Blais. Not much that I liked from him otherwise. Gauthier, though, he looked pretty decent. No shots on goal for him, but he was noticeable the way he was moving up and down the ice. So, not a bad game from him. The fourth line altogether, not too bad. Defensively, a lot that I liked, but also didn't like. So, this was a weird one because, like I said, I thought they played a decent defensive game at certain points, but then the lapses were, oh my God, why? And it continues to happen. Lingard and Fox, I thought Fox was a little bit up and down tonight. I thought he looked brutal at times in this game. And I mean brutal, like lazy back checks, pinching too far up in the offensive zone. I didn't like a couple things that Adam Fox did in this game. Definitely a little bit of a down game for him, but he still put up 2 points. That's a down game for Adam Fox. But on the defensive side of the puck, I thought he was uh, a little bit worse than what we've seen. And then for Ryan Lindgren, I thought he actually played a very solid defensive game, and he also did some things offensively too. I mean, I had in the notes what couple like two. He had 3 shots on goal tonight. That is unheard of from Ryan Lindgren. I liked what I saw a lot from him tonight, so that was something that was good. Fox had less shots on him, which who had that on their bingo card tonight? Ryan Lindgren getting more shots on goal than Adam Fox. Certainly not this guy, but I digress. The second pair, they need to be split up. It's a nightly conversation, isn't it? Miller, meh. I mean, I don't like the turnover that he made on on that opening goal. Right, it was the opening goal. I don't like what he did. There were a couple plays that I didn't like. Jacob Trouba getting outworked on that Fiala goal. I didn't like it. There's just a lot that they're doing that I don't like. Offensively, there are things that they're doing that aren't bad, and there was a nice little defensive play that Trouba made in this game, sure, but I still need more from them. I still do, especially when Trouba's getting paid $8 million. Keandre Miller, you're a second pair defenseman, and this is what, your third, fourth year now. You got to be better at this point. There's no more excuses here, and how much longer can they stick together if they keep playing like this? I don't know. Jones and Schneider, I thought they had an up and down game as well. I didn't like the amount of turnovers that Jones had. I thought Schneider was actually pretty good though tonight. I thought Schneider actually looked good. Threw a lot of hits tonight. 4 hits and listed at 4 block shots. I believe it. You noticed some of those block shots as well. And he was definitely looking pretty good tonight. Jones, though, very unnoticeable. I'd imagine Hayek gets the call for tomorrow's game or today's game, whatever you want to say. I'd imagine he does. He had a bit of a rough game today, but for the most part, I'm happy with Schneider's game. And then Igor, he had a great game. You can't really fault him for most of the goals. That second goal especially, you cannot fault him. The first goal, maybe you want him to stop that one. The Walker goal, I don't think he ever got sight of it, but the first goal, sure, you can maybe say he probably should have had it, but at the same time, Trouba's got to be better defensively there, so I don't know. I still expect a bit more. I expect a full 60. I expect better defense because the lapses were still there in this one. Listen, I'm not expecting perfection here because that's what people probably think I'm expecting. I'm not expecting you to go out and just, oh, no mistakes, no flaws or nothing. Listen, it's the NHL. It's going to happen throughout a 60-minute game. But it's a matter of limiting them, and they need to start doing that more. And these wins, as great as it is to rack up points, as great as it is to get back in the win column, I need them to do it the right way because come playoff time, there is a certain way you got to play. And we saw it last year in the playoffs when they actually played sound defensive hockey. They actually were going places, especially against Carolina with the way they were playing. That's something that they need to continue. It's something that they need to continue, and they need to show it. So, yeah, that's all I really got for this game. Let me know your thoughts on the game in the comment section. Am I being too harsh again on the team? Let me know your thoughts. Would love to hear from you guys. Thank you guys so much, though, for watching this video. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like on it. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially if you're Ranger fans. Turn on your notifications so you know when I upload a video next, and I'll see you in the next one. Let's go, Rangers.